Can you tell me what you guys had to do while you were down there? What was the situation? Were you briefed?
We were flagged down by one of her friends that was on scene with her, and she told me that her friend was bleeding heavily, so I contacted fire alarm through the radio to get some help, and I didn't really know what I had. When she tried to take me back on the other side where they were, her friend was no longer there, so we were trying to locate where she had went to.
So she was more like, if you're in Montori's, she would have been on the other side of the tracks? Okay.
They were on the other side of the tracks behind where Enterprise.
Behind the Enterprise.
And there was a big long train there.
Correct,
As far as the eye could see on either side. See, that was the initial problem when the guys came in, because Ryan came in on one side, I believe, right? If I'm not mistaken. And the train was, as far as you could see, north and south. So they finally ended up talking to the train conductor, and they broke the train, I think, and just moved half of it, because otherwise it would have taken 15 minutes for the train to move long enough. And if they had just been handcuffed on that side of the train tracks, they were gonna have to lift her over about a 6-foot fence, possibly. So that's why they broke the train, to remove it. And then they finally subdued the woman. I don't know if they subdued her, that might be the wrong choice of words, but she was a little combative.
She was a little combative.
Mm-hmm.
So she was conscious and alert.
She was conscious the whole time, correct.
Okay. And was it, what I had heard was that it was a neck injury. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Engine 3 with these two gentlemen, and then they stopped, and that's when, not things escalated, but then they found out the magnitude of the woman's injuries.
Okay. So Engine 3 was just coming back from another call?
Yeah, we were returning from another call on River Street. And we heard Lieutenant Kringen call over the radio for an ambulance. So we stopped down there because we were right on Boulder Drive when we heard him call to see if he needed any assistance before the ambulance arrived.
Can you tell me what you guys found when you got there and seen?
There was a little bit of difficult access to get to where the patient was located. There was a woman who reported to our crew that there was another woman bleeding profusely on the other side of the train and didn't know how or what kind of an injury she had.
Okay.
We accessed the area that she was in over the train tracks and found a woman with some severe neck injuries.
Severe neck injuries?
Private Patrick Roy and Private Tim O'Kane were the first to actually get to the patient.
Private Patrick Roy, and who was the other one?
And
Tim?
Private Tim O'Kane.
Okay.
And they started basic life support treatment right away with evaluating the injuries and treating the large lacerations on the neck with trauma dressings and getting vital signs, putting the patient on oxygen.
Okay. Would you call it a serious injury?
Definitely, yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely a serious injury.
Okay. But she was conscious from what I understand.
She was conscious throughout the whole event, yes.
Was she sober?
Unknown.
Any idea how she got hurt? Was it the
No,
train?
no.
Was it she fall off the bridge?
Nobody said how she sustained the injury.
As I'm sure you can appreciate, it's tough for us to speculate.
Yes.
When did you know it was bad enough you had to call Life Flight?
The amount of blood loss, the size and location of the lacerations, and the known difficulty for time to be able to extricate her from where she was. We had a long freight train blocking our access to the Boulder Drive side of the tracks. And we had some difficult obstacles that were, a large railroad tie wall and chain link fence, probably 8 to 10 feet each above us. That would have been our alternate evacuation. We had to make sure that we secured this woman, control the bleeding.
Can you point what side of her neck was it?
I believe
Is the right side in the area of the carotid artery.
we called Life Flight knowing that it would probably be a minimum of 10 to 15 minutes before we could get her actually out of there, secured on a backboard, and take all the C-spine precautions that we needed to take, given the fact that the injury was to the neck, and to get her to a hospital. So,
What's it-
flight is flying in that scenario. It's definitely an advanced life support scenario, and we want to get the best possible care that the patient can get.
On your best guess, how old was this victim?
In her 30s, early 30s.